What's going on? It's your host of the most real Taylor Nicole, and I'm back at it again. Back at it again with another episode for y'all. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I have the most amazing feeling when I get to come on this screen and talk to y'all about whatever. Whether it's my Black history or whether I've done a mini series or whether I'm doing the podcast. So as many of you may know, Movies with Tay is going to come to a little breaking point after episode 60. And then we're going to switch over to talking about TV shows. Now, with that being said, so your girl decided that she's going to create another YouTube channel. This more conversational based. So we're going to talk a little bit more about life on that channel. So this channel will still be dedicated to the Black history, the mini-series, and the, podcast episodes about TV shows and movies, right? But that one over there, gonna be spicy. What's spicy? That's what that's that one over there gonna be about. That one's gonna be some real life, hard-hitting stuff. I mean, it's gonna be something over there, okay? I don't have an exact date for when stuff will start dropping because I already have myself a little far stretched right now. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get that one up and cracking. Hopefully I can get it up and running by the end of this year. But the point is, I'm bringing you that content. And it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be juicy. Because it's going to be uncut, unfiltered, and raw. It's going to be real. It's going to be real. But I decided on the name. I decided on segments. I decided on how it's going to be laid out. So all that's already in the works. It's just your girl stretching stuff a little too thin right now. I got the Black history segments going. I got the mini series going. I got podcast Fridays going. And then on top of that, I have other things in the works that I'm doing. So your girl kind of out there doing things. But as always, it's a beautiful and a happy Friday when I get to sit here and talk to y'all. So as y'all know, what's the theme song? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope y'all tuning in to a happy Friday. It's a happy Friday. Happy Friday. You say happy Friday. Happy Friday. You say happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope y'all tuning in to a happy Friday. Yay! Listen, y'all. I think I'm gonna be honest too. I feel like sometimes, because I go back and watch some of these episodes, and I'm like, I feel like I'm not giving 100% of who I am. I am a goofy individual, and I talk like an older lady. I don't talk like no young person. I talk like an older lady. So I watch some of these episodes, and I go, you're not being your authentic self 100%. Like, you holding back a little bit. Because listen, moi is unapologetic. I am who I am. I am how I'm going to be. So I was watching them and I was like, dang, I don't really feel like that's me 100%. So I'm going to be me. I'm going to tell these stories how I would really tell these stories. I'm going to recap the movie for sure, but I'm going to recap it the way I would recap it. Okay? All right. Well, let's get to it. So, quick update. Because I kind of gave you a quick update about the channel. But I think I might have misspoke about season 2 of Anguished. So, just want to give you guys a brief heads up. Season 2 of Anguished may not actually drop in August. It may not drop until September. Had a few minor hiccups, minor setbacks. So, it may not drop in August. But I'm still going to bring you something every week on Wednesdays for the time being until I get season 2 done. But just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay? So, without further ado, your host with the most wants to bring you a toast and tell you about a new show that I've seen already before. I'm just kidding. It's not a show. It's a TV show. It's not a TV show. It's a movie. I'm just playing. Blah, 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 blah. We doing a movie. We ain't doing a TV show yet. Even though it is a TV show I want to talk to y'all about, but I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna hold on. But let's jump right into the segment, shall we? So, of course, if you watched the last one, then you know this one is episode 46. Your girl on 46. Hey, your girl on 46. 14 more episodes though. We got 14 more episodes. We got 14 more episodes. I'm being dramatic. I'm sorry. I'm being dramatic. We got 14 more episodes before this comes to a halt. I won't say an end because it's not really going to end. I just think that I think after I complete my promise to myself, I do want to start, bringing y'all an episode because I still might talk to y'all about movies though. During the hiatus, I might still see a movie. I'm like, ooh, okay. But let me reel it back real quick. I'm sorry. So, like I said, it's episode 46. The name of this movie is called Motives. The running time is about an hour and 27 minutes long. Release date is 2/24 of 2004. Because I think I accidentally put 2024. Girl, let me tell you, I'm about to call y'all girl like y'all my homies. Y'all are my homies. Y'all my little homies. I have a habit. So listen, hold on. Before before I get into finishing up, I wanted to say this. I have a habit of when I'm having a real good conversation with my brother, I'll be calling him girl by accident, and I know somebody else can relate with me real quick. I'm sorry, I went on a quick little tangent, but I've had a moment where I'll be talking to my brother, and I'm like, girl, it's funny. I do not mean to do it. It is just funny to me though. And my brother be like, if she don't quit calling me girl. But it's an accident. It's not on purpose. I love my brother though. That is my ace boon coon. Me and my siblings are like this. Them are my ace boon coons. I love them, yo. I love them. But I'm sorry, I got off tangent. Let's reel it back in. Let me start from the top because I had that just made me think about that because I called y'all girl and it was so funny to me. But anyway, so sorry. This is episode 46. The name of the movie is Motives. Running time is about an hour and 27 minutes long. The release date was 2/24/04. The director was Mr. Craig Ross Jr. I couldn't. I won't say I couldn't. It was too many people who were listed as the producer, so I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. And fun fact, I actually watched this movie on a DVD. So when I give you the list of where to watch, I didn't watch it on none of these platforms. I watched it on DVD because I still have DVDs. Yes, I do. So, uh, so you can watch, but if you don't have a DVD, you can actually watch this on Pluto TV, Google Play Movies and TV, YouTube TV, Apple TV, Fandango at Home. Once again, that is Pluto TV, Google Play Movies and TV, YouTube TV, and Apple TV, and Fandango at Home. Now, most of those you do have to pay for. They're not free. I know they say Pluto TV free, but that ain't free. These places you gotta pay. Unfortunately, I didn't find nowhere where it said it was free, so you gotta pay for that. Sorry, I watched it on DVD because I got the DVD. And you don't believe me? Hold on, I'm gonna get the DVD. I'm gonna show you. They don't believe me. Act like I ain't got the DVD. I got the DVD. I do. I sure do. I got the DVD. Y'all probably saying who still got DVDs. That's what y'all probably saying. Who still got DVDs? And how you watching the DVD? How you still doing that? That's probably what y'all was saying. Y'all probably thought I was lying. I ain't lying. I got the DVD right here. Okay? DVD right here, baby. I ain't got a lot of y'all. Oop. My bad. my bad. But no, I do have the DVD. Let me go grab that because I did not mean to throw that like that. But no, I'm serious. So I do have the DVD, and that's how I watched it. And the quality is trash. I ain't gonna lie. The quality of that DVD was buns. But I watched it on my PlayStation. If you guys are wondering, my PS5. I plugged it on into the PS5, sat down, and watched this movie. And it's crazy because when I watched the movie, I realized that what I thought happened, I was dead. I won't say I was dead wrong, but what I thought happened in this movie did not happen in this movie. It happened in the sequel, which um I was I was like, dang, I thought, well, wait. So, well, we're gonna get into it. But before we can get into it, I got to bring you the cast. And as you already seen who the cast is, the main cast is from just this little here moment right here. But so we have Vivica A. Fox as Constance Simms or Connie. We have Shemar Moore as Emery Simms. We have Golden Brooks as Allanah James. Joe Torre as Derek Woods. Sean Blakemore as Brandon. Karen Wood Ross as Gwendolyn. Mel Jackson as Detective Morgan. Keisha Knight Palmer as Latrice. Victoria Rowell, as Detective Pierce, and William L. Johnson as Ray. Now, there were a few minor supporting characters, because most of them are supporting characters, but there were a few minor characters in there, whatever the case may be, but whatever. So, before I get into the recap, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with me week after week. I'm going to keep pushing this out. Some going to stick, and some going to bring that traffic to me. I got faith. But I want to thank everybody who does come back and watch. I want to thank you guys for supporting me. One thing that I would like for you guys who are watching, though, please make sure you're hitting that like button. I appreciate when you guys comment. I love that. But please make sure you guys are hitting the like button and sharing it, because that generates more algorithm for me. And my thing is, I feel like that there's people out here who like this type of content, but because YouTube doesn't know it, because my viewers who are reviewing it aren't liking it and sharing it, YouTube is like, well, your own people ain't liking it. Your own people don't share it. They watching it, but they're not hitting the like button. So because I've been educating myself in the YouTube creator world, and it tells me that my viewers, the ones who come back and watch, hit the like button and share it. Because when you do that, YouTube goes, okay, her own people likes it. Cool. So now we know it's okay to shoot it out to other people. Because they try to trick me and try to tell me that it gets put in front of the faces of people who aren't subscribed to me, but that's not 100% true. Because when I got to digging and looking and researching into it more, I noticed that my own algorithm will populate my content to me because it's what I already watch. So do me a favor, make sure you hit the like button after you get done watching it. Watch it all the way through, then hit the like button, and then share it for me. Share wherever you share stuff. I don't care. Just share it and like it and leave me a comment. I love when y'all comment. Now, let's jump into it. Let's do the movie recap. It's going to be a little ghetto, little hood, little recap today because this movie a little ghetto, a little hood. But, so the movie opens up with Emery Simms and Strouds is his name in the movie. That's his last name. And it opens up with Emery Simms, Strouds, and Reyes all talking about some type of governmental, political, stealing from the government type shit. They in there talking. They talking nerd talk to me. And Reyes dips out to go grab something, and Emery and Strouds get to arguing about Strouds trying to embezzle money from Emery. So Emery like, hold on, man, wait a minute, get your piece. So they get the tussling. Well, as they get the tussling, Emery and him get into a real bad fight to the point where Emery knocks him down, and Strouds lands on like this beam, and it goes straight through his body and it kills him. Well, Reyes comes back and he sees Reyes sees Strouds dead and Emery standing up with this thing in his hand. And he like, whoa, got to go. So Reyes runs. Emery like, wait, hold on, it's not what you think. It's exactly what you think. He chases after him. Reyes leaves. He gone out the wind. So Emery ends up calling his best friend Brandon. Brandon don't answer the phone. Brandon hear the phone ringing, but Brandon ain't picking up. Brandon like, nigga, no. So now Emery like, what do I do next? He leave him there. He dip out. He leave him there. So it's clear that Emery's loaded. Emery got money. because Emery got a nice little, I think it's a Porsche if I'm not mistaken, and a nice house, a beautiful wife who is Constance. So he goes back home to his normal life, like nothing ever happened. And he was going to a grand opening for a restaurant that they're open that him and his wife opened in LA. I mean not LA, sorry, Atlanta. That they're opening up in Atlanta. So he gets there and he's getting ready, or she's getting ready. I'm sorry, Constance is getting ready, and she's like, "Come on, you already late. Let's go." And they get dressed. They head to the grand opening. So now that they're at the grand opening, everybody's listening to Emery give a speech. Constance gives her little blah blah blah. They, whatever the case may be, boring shit. So, so after that situation, Allanah comes in, and Allanah and Emery lock eyes. He's attracted to her. You could tell that little fine shit is what the youngest call her. So he looking at her, she looking at him. You know what I'm saying? He following her, but Brandon comes and lets Emery know we got visitors. So he goes to the office, in the back of the restaurant. He goes to the office, and Detective Morgan and Detective Pierce is in his office scrimmaging through his shit. First of all, that's illegal. You don't have the right to go through my shit. But they're scrimmaging through all his stuff, and they basically approach him about Stroud's death. And they let him know, like, well, we seen that you were the last person who he talked to, and frequently, apparently. And Emery, like, I don't know what you're talking about. They try to show him the pictures of Stroud's dead body to see if they can get him to, feel some type of way. Emery don't budge or nothing. So at this point, Emery know that they got an idea that he is the reason why Stroud's dead, but they don't know why. So now Emery and Constance go home. They're clearly having some marital issues, you could tell. And most of it seems like it has to do. Now, they never said exactly what Emery did to make some people not like him, because apparently he's got like this bad boy image or something that people don't really care for. So it messes with Constance and her family's business, to the point where people that are in power that she usually would have access to kind of don't want to deal with her because of her husband. They never really said why and what he did, but basically they just don't really want to fool with her because of him. So they kind of have an argument about that, and then he attaches the restaurant that they open as a way to, so she has this children's center that she does work for, or that she, whatever. And the night they did the grand opening, Emery decided to give 5% of the proceeds to the children's center. And for Emery, it was a genuine gesture. But for Constance, she's seen it as, you know what you're doing, and you're trying to mess up what I got going on. That's kind of how Constance seen it, like he was trying to control everything, basically. So they kind of had some marital issues. Well, Emery the next morning ends up leaving to go to the office or what have you, and Allanah is outside one of the offices that he does business out of with a broke down car. Mysteriously, okay, so here's my thing. Emery wasn't paying no mind, paying no attention, because how in the world did you not put two and two together? You seen this girl at your grand opening. Now she's outside of a business that you, like, somebody's setting you up. It's clear as day that somebody is setting you up and intentionally putting this girl in your face. And it has to be somebody who knows you. You know what I'm saying? So the movie in the jump letting you, as viewers, we know Emery's being set up. We can tell. It's not that hard to tell. How did this girl make it to your grand opening and then mysteriously end up outside of a building where she don't even have no business being, right? So he ends up giving her a ride to her job and heading back to wherever he was supposed to be going. So Emery goes back to whatever the hell he was supposed to be doing. Constance is at work. This is when she finds out the mayor backed out from doing a speech and coming to her children's center event because of Emery. Once again, we don't know what Emery did, but They don't want to fool with her because of him. And they said that Emery was ruining her family's reputation. Whatever he did, they ain't fooling with him. Well, the detective's still looking into the death of the white guy, Strauss. And Allanah, um, Allanah and Emery, they shared a little chemistry, little moment at the grand opening. Then also when he seen her, they had a little moment, right? So Allanah, she's not a college student, but her friend is Latrice, and she's rooming with her friend Latrice and Gwendolyn in the dorms. Like I said, Allanah is grown. Allanah works for a company called Mindscope Inc. And she has a job, so she's making money, but she's crashing at her friend's college dorm instead of getting an apartment. But I digress. Well, she sent Emery a knight in shining armor, a horse, little trophy looking thing from him helping her. He calls her. You know what happens at this point. He calls her. He sets up a little meet and greet, if you will, because that's what I'm gonna call it. And he sets that up so that they can link up and have dinner, is what he says. So he sets that up with her. She cool with that, and he goes to his homie Brandon, his best friend. He tells Brandon, like, "Hey man, I appreciate you for being a manager at a restaurant and everything, but if my wife asks, I was with you. All right, cool." So Brandon like, "All right, nigga." Now I ain't gonna lie, you can look at Brandon's face and go, "Why are you cheating on your wife?" You can look at him and tell he's like, "Dude, what?" But he like, "You know what? Whatever. You do you, play. It ain't got nothing to do with me." So Emery goes, has dinner with Allanah, and it alludes to they just go their separate ways. That's how they alluded to. But when Emery gets home, Constance still giving him the cold shoulder. So he goes into the bathroom and he's replaying his moment with Allanah. Now that little moment in the car that they had, trifling. And so that little moment in the scene, you gotta watch the movie. If you ain't ever watched Motives, go watch it, because that little flashback to what was going on in that car, I don't know what they thought that was, because she was bumping that little cootie cat on his chest. Never mind. The point is, the whole little thing was just a mess. It's just a mess, okay? But anywho, so after a little flashback, if you will, Allanah and Emery clearly did the do. But Emery is sharing like this 50-50 moment. 50 of him is saying he enjoyed what he did. 50 of him saying he regret what he did. But you know what happened when you get bit with that lust bug, it don't go away that easy. It don't go away that easy. So the next thing you know, the next night, Allanah gets approached by Derek, who is actually her ex-husband and ex-partner. You heard what I said now. Ex-partner. Follow along with me now. So he's her ex-partner. He approaches her. He threatens her. He basically let her know. And he threatens her on multiple occasions throughout this film, because I'm probably going to forget to say it. But he threatens her on multiple occasions throughout the film. But he threatens her, tell her, "You owe me money. I want my money. You think you could just skip town, disappear, and I never will find you? That's not how that works. I want my money." And she like, "Boy, if you don't get your hands up off me with your ghetto ass." And he like, "Girl, you better get my money. I'm going to break your face." So she like, "Oop." And he like, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, he like, "So, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got another mark that you messing with, I want in." And she like, it's not like that, bro. It's just not. Well, Brandon and Emery are at the restaurant, and the detectives are at the restaurant, sitting there smiling, cheersing, like they're taunting Emery. They don't have nothing to link Emery to Stroud's death, but they're taunting him to try to see if he'll break. So Brandon tells him, "Do like Ray said, leave it alone, ignore it, just don't give in to it, leave it be." So Emery still, like I said, that lust bug, when you get bit by it, you still keep going for it. So Emery's still messing around with Allanah. It wasn't a one-time thing for Emery. Emery kept messing around with Allanah. He didn't morphed his mind into thinking that Allanah, is just a little side piece, a little something to do when he's stressed out versus going to his wife, right? So Allanah goes back to the dorm where her friend Latrice lives, and Latrice basically puts her out because Latrice like, look, I'm in school, and this constantly coming in and out, I realize I don't even have my hat on. I don't have my hat on, y'all. Oh well, I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing the episode without it. It is what it is. But anyway, so I'm so used to wearing my bucket hat, so it kind of feel weird not having it. I just realized that when I touched my head, I was like, my bucket hat missing, but it's okay. I don't really need it. I don't. Sometimes I don't even like wearing the hats because they make my head hot and itch. But anyway, so like I said, Allanah gets put out of the dorm. She get told to go live somewhere else. So Allanah calls Emery and like Captain Save-A-Whore, here comes Emery, swooping on in and saving the day. He ends up putting Allanah up in one of his condominiums that he owns and lets her stay there for the time being. And Allanah is so delulu that she brings her homegirl Gwendolyn over. And Gwendolyn, she's talking to Gwendolyn as if Emery and her are in a relationship. This is how she's talking to Gwendolyn. We got this, we got that. And Gwendolyn like, girl, what's a we? What is a we? So her and Gwendolyn spend time together. They doing whatever they do. And Reyes puts a Switzerland postcard in Emery's locker. So we think it's Reyes, because remember, Reyes got away. Reyes ran and nobody has seen or heard from Reyes. So only thing they can think of is that it's Reyes trying to get money out of Emery, right? So Gwendolyn had told Allanah, I skipped this part. Gwendolyn had told Allanah to poke a hole in the condom so she can trap Emery, basically, is what Gwendolyn told her to do. So at this point, back to Emery and Brandon. They was playing, I think, tennis maybe, because Emery likes to play tennis. So when they found the poster card, Emery told him, don't worry about it. Don't pay him no mind. Ain't no need to pay that fool off. Basically tell him if you pay him off once, he gonna keep coming back for more. So don't feed into it, because if he was going to tell, he would have been told. So just leave it be. So Emery like, all right, whatever. So at this point, Emery has decided to go. He went home instead of him going home to his wife, he goes to the condo where Allanah is. And when he walks in, Allanah and Gwendolyn are in the bed. So he's like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? Like, why you got people here? And she like, damn, I need permission to have somebody over. He's like, hell yeah, girl, what the hell you think this is? Like, this is a secret. This ain't no out in the open thing, girl. What did you want? So they had a little moment again. This time, Gwendolyn said she was going to step out. But see, Gwendolyn really didn't leave. So Gwendolyn just so happened to still be there. She see them in the middle trying to do their little thug thizzle. So now all three of them doing their little thug thizzle together. And Emery is so smitten by the coaching that when he leaves, he don't pay attention to nothing. Derek is there stalking Allanah, and the detectives are there stalking Emery. However, they start realizing that Emery might just be a little lover boy, because the question now remains, where is Reyes? Nobody has seen or heard from Reyes. Where is Reyes? Where is he at? So now they like, well, maybe we chasing the wrong dude. Maybe it wasn't Emery. Maybe it was Reyes that did it. So now they got to figure out motive. So Emery, steadily being foolish, steadily, messing around with Allanah. But during that time, because he was still messing around with Allanah, like I said, it's becoming a lust bug issue. the constant messing around. He letting his guard down, not paying attention, just not looking into what's really being possessed and put in front of him. So while at work, Constance gets some pictures, and I can only assume that the pictures were of Emery and Allanah, but we don't get to see the pictures. They're in a blue envelope, but we don't get to see the pictures. We just assume that it is based on her facial expressions, right? Well, Derek ends up showing up to the restaurant where Emery and Brandon are, and him and Brandon are arguing at first. Emery walks up, him and Emery get to arguing, and then next thing you know, Derek punches Emery, Emery punches him back, and everybody looking at Emery like he wrong for punching Derek. Y'all motherfuckers just seen him punch me in the face. Y'all gonna look at me crazy because I punched him back? What? And my mouth bleeding. Of course I'm gonna punch him back. So Emery, Emery like you could tell in his face, he's like, I don't know what the fuck I just got myself into. You know what I'm saying? Because what the heck is going on? So Allanah is at the condo putting up groceries, and Derek broke in. Her and Derek are arguing back and forth. And when Derek is in there, this is the second time he threatened her. You messing with that pretty boy? You better, he got you living up in here. You better let me in on this Mark that you got. She like, he ain't a Mark. I love him. I love him. And Derek ain't trying to hear none of that. You in it for some money. So when you get your money, you break me off. Right? So Emery goes home to Constance with a busted lip, trying to, take care of the cut or whatever. And Constance is trying to help him, but he keep pushing her away, being an asshole. Typical shit that happen when you messing around on your wife anyway, and your emotions are getting the best of you, and your guilt running deep. So they get into it. Emery goes back to the condo, steadily messing around with Allanah. Well, while he goes back to the condo, he wakes up from his little slumber, and Allanah like, I can't do this no more. Like, he like, shit, neither can I. So they call it quits. Emery goes home, starts trying to be a good husband to his wife, starts trying to just smooth things over and be a husband like he was before Allanah came across. So the crazy thing is, they spent all that time beefing. And like I said, based on Constance's face, those pictures indicate what I think they indicated. But we don't know just yet. Because now Constance is being all lovey-dovey with Emery after just giving him the cold shoulder. So Emery and Constance make up, cool, whatever. The next thing you know, the next day, Constance is going to work and Emery's staying at home chilling. Well, when Constance leaves, Allanah is in there. And Allanah is on some creepy stalker shit, right? But Constance comes back in while Allanah there, so now Emery got to try to play it cool and get Constance out of there so she don't see Allanah there. Well, he gets her out of there. He also tells Allanah, look, this is over with. I'm gonna make my marriage work with my wife, and you gonna have to accept that. This was just a little exchange. You gave me the box, I gave you a place to stay. Now you can stay there as long as you want for right now, but I'm getting ready to put you out if you don't leave me alone. Leave me alone, do your thing. Just leave me be. So the detectives are still working on the case. They still trying to crack the case. Who killed Strauss? That's what they're trying to figure out, right? So they figure out how Strauss, Emery, and Reyes all know each other. They figure it out. So they like, time to pay Emery another visit because you lied to us. Well, before they go pay a little visit, Allanah, so delulu, she tells Emery she's pregnant. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Girl ain't pregnant. I ain't stupid. I knew it was a trick. But she tells Emery she pregnant. And Emery like, okay, what you want me to do about it? I'll make sure I give you the money so you can get rid of it. Because I don't want no parts of that. I told you, I'm working on things with my wife. Get rid of the baby. Go on about your day. So things are going downhill for Emery, but uphill for Constance. So now Constance has gotten the mayor to come and to the children's center for her event, right? So Emery is just in the dumps. Like I said, life is going downhill for him. He don't know what to do. His mind is just frazzled because he didn't put himself in a bad position that he probably should never put himself in. But Emery goes to Brandon's house. Brandon's unpacking his new house that he moved into, and he's got on some gloves and he's using a box cutter. And to most people, they were like, okay, what's wrong with that? But he hands Emery a box cutter, and Emery takes the box cutter and he opens up one of the boxes. It's got one of their yearbooks in it. He's going through the yearbook, and while he's going through the yearbook, he sees a photo of Constance and he's reminiscing. He's just having a real heartbreaking moment because he realized what he's done to his marriage. Well, Brandon makes a comment that, hey man, we all have that one we let get away. And Emery don't pay no mind to that. He just like, okay, nigga, whatever. So while they're talking, Brandon tells Emery basically like having Allanah get an abortion ain't gonna fix the situation. It can only make it worse sometimes. But then he turns around and tells Emery that maybe Emery should go ahead and pay Reyes $250K. Now, from what I can remember, there was never a dollar amount requested from Reyes. He just wanted some money. I never heard Emery say how much Reyes asked for. But Brandon tells Emery to go ahead and pay Reyes $250K to make it go away. I'm like, I seen a couple red flags in that conversation, but I already know what happens in the movie, of course, but I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. So, like I said, Emery goes home. He's all lovey-dovey on Constance and just very down in the dumps to the point where Constance is now nervous because she's like, what the heck is going on? Like something off about Emery. She know he cheating, but she can tell. And the next day, Emery goes to meet up with Allanah to see if she had the abortion. She tells him she didn't because, she just feel like it's going to help better their relationship. And Emery like, girl, have you lost your rabbit ass mind? I said, I don't want a baby with you. You lost your mind? You tough of hearing? You hard of hearing? I said, I don't want a baby with you. I said, get rid of it. So she left there looking like a weirdo. Now, what's weird is you at a children's park with no kids, watching kids play. That stuff's so weird. But anywho, Allanah crazy tail self is in a mirror talking to herself. She's preparing herself for what she needs to say to whomever she needs to say it to, right? So Constance is at work. She gets a little note to come have lunch with someone at a park, at Piedmont Park. She only assumes it could be her husband because, it says follow the red balloons and blah, blah. So she thinks it's her husband. So Constance is like, okay. So Constance goes and has lunch with Allanah. It ain't Emery, it's Allanah. And they have a little woman-to-woman conversation about what's going on. So now, when they have that woman-to-woman conversation, Emery ends up going home and catches Constance 38 hot. She packing up clothes. She getting the hell up out of there. And Emery like, what are you doing? And Constance like, you got that hoe pregnant? You got her pregnant. She clearly got you wrapped around her finger because you ain't gave me no baby. You ain't gave me no baby. But you gonna give her a baby? No sir. So she packing up. She getting the hell up out of there, right? So Allanah got a check from Constance, $100,000 check from Constance, right? So Allanah and Derek are back at it again, but this time he think that he getting some little cootie cat. So he thinking that Allanah didn't, fell for him again, but the whole time she playing Derek too. And she trying to give him that cootie cat so he don't kill her, because he was gonna try to kill her, right? So Emery ends up walking in while they on the countertop getting it in, right? They argue, they go back and forth, they arguing, whatever the case may be, and next thing you know, my bad, I heard my neighbor slamming doors. Next thing you know, Emery and Derek both in an interrogation room being interrogated. Because apparently Allanah got killed. Okay, Allanah gets killed, and now Emery and Derek are the number one suspects because they both was messing around with Allanah. They both have motive to take out Allanah. So now Brandon is out here trying to backstab Emery. He trying to swindle in on Constance. This is why I said I knew as soon as he said we all got one, we let get away. And when Emery mentioned Constance, I seen Brandon's face. So the whole time, Brandon been in love with Constance and always wanted Constance for himself. But see, because Emery was a pretty boy with money, he felt like that is why Emery got Constance and why he didn't get Constance. Because Emery had made a comment that Brandon was funny looking in their high school pictures. And Brandon was like, well, we all looked the same back then, didn't we? You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon, like, don't try to call me ugly. You trying to call me ugly? I'm kind of ugly. But anyway, so now Alannah's been killed. Now Emery and Derek are being investigated for her death. They clear Emery, and I think they cleared Derek too. Both of them got cleared because there was no murder weapon. They had nothing to hold either one of them on. So they had them let him go. Gwendolyn, like, why he get to go free? And they like, well, we don't got nothing to hold him on because we don't have proof that he did anything to her. So Emery gets home and Constance, or no, Emery gets home. Emery goes outside with Ray. Ray's his attorney. And Emery and Ray go outside. They see Brandon and Constance all hugged up. Now, I don't know why Emery didn't catch it then either. Like, come on, bro, open your eyes. Because this man a little too close to your wife. But Brandon, 38 hot because Constance goes home with Emery. See, he thought that all that little stuff he was doing was just going to break up their relationship. Because I'm going to tell you in a second, some more details in a second. So he thought that all that little stuff Emery was doing was going to end up breaking up him and Constance, and he'll be able to get Constance for himself. Didn't happen that way. Constance stayed in her marriage. So they go home. Emery's confused, but Constance is like, look, I put too much time in this marriage just to walk out because you got some little skis and pregnant. It is what it is. I'm gonna just sit through. I'm gonna stick beside you. And Emery like, something ain't right. Allanah ends up dead. You come back home. Something ain't right. And I kind of get where Emery was coming from. Like, that's just subsequent. She ends up dead and you come back home all cool. I ain't with that. Well, Emery had told her that Allanah wasn't pregnant, in which I believe him. She wasn't pregnant. At least not from Emery. Okay. So Constance has the Children's Center event that she's supposed to be hosting, and Emery decides he doesn't want to go because he thinks that she killed Allanah. So he's hunting for a knife to see if she took a knife from the house and killed Allanah with it. So he's hunting for knives because they never said what she got killed with. They just say that her throat was slit. So he assuming it was done with a knife. So he's searching for it, can't find it. He goes to Brandon's house to talk to Brandon about the situation, and it backfires on him. Emery and Brandon get to arguing, and Brandon pretty much tell Emery, I'm going to get Constance one way or another because you killed Allanah and you killed Strauss. So you going one way or another, I'm going to get my woman. And Emery, once again, still ain't paying attention to nothing that Brandon is saying. Why would he say you killed Allanah and he know you didn't? Come on now, use your brain. Put yourself in the right shoes. So Emery and him have a fist fight, and Emery tells Brandon, if you come near my wife again or me again, I'm gonna kill your ass. You're fired. You're not a manager no more. Yap out of here. And Brandon like, I got you, player. Don't worry about it. So Emery, he decides to get his suit on. He goes to the Children's Center event, and unfortunately, he gets arrested right there at that event for Alannah's murder and Strauss' murder. He gets arrested for both murders. And Constance is like, that's why I want this motherfucker to come. Like, I was cool with him not coming. Because now, like, he didn't ruin my event again. Again. So, when they took Emery to prison for Alannah's death and Strauss' death, Constance served him with the divorce papers. Served that man with divorce papers. And then here's the crazy part. When Emery's walking out after, they had a little visit, they leave him in the hallway and Constance is walking out and Brandon opens the door. And Brandon and Constance smooching. And and Emery like, what the fuck? Wait a god darn minute. You mean to tell me you messing around with this joker on me? Shit, you divorced me for him? So Emery starts to play things back in his head and he realizes, hey motherfucker, you set me up. So he starts yelling like, bro, you set me up. Brandon, you set me up. You dirty mother sucker. Cause see, Constance told Emery that she believed him up until the box cutter anonymously got dropped off at the police station with his fingerprints on it. Same box cutter that Brandon gave him previously to help cut boxes with. But see, you're not thinking that your boy gonna set you up on some crazy shit like that. So whole time, Brandon set this up from the jump. The day that Strauss got killed and Brandon was in the bar and he was ignoring his phone, that's because he was sitting with Allanah to set Emery up. Because Brandon said that Emery wasn't the mark, Constance was. And Alannah's like, this is never gonna work, bro. What do you want? Like, this is not gonna work. So the plan was for Allanah to get Emery out the way. See, I don't think that Brandon anticipated on killing Allanah. I think he actually just, because Brandon killed Allanah. Constance, Derek, and Emery, none of them killed Allanah. Brandon did. Brandon killed her. But Brandon didn't, I don't think, well, I'm going to get to that in a second. But anyway, so we end up finding out that Brandon set the stuff up with Allanah, and Brandon set the stuff up with Derek. He told Derek all the addresses to where Allanah would be, where Emery would be. He told him everything. He set it up smoothly. Everything. Only thing he didn't set up was the thing that happened to Strauss. That just happened accidentally. So Emery ended up getting charged with Alannah's murder and Strauss' murder and was convicted and sent to prison for both murders. Well, that's basically how the movie ends. It ends with us finding out that Brandon set up the whole entire thing and Emery was framed for Alannah's murder. Okay? Stroud is the only one he really truly did technically kill. It was an accident, but it is the only one he really killed. So, as we, know it the best, your host with the most loves to get into her notes. Now, the notes are kind of short and simple because I want to really get into how I feel about this movie and these characters. So, the note's going to be a little short today. So, the little car scene that I was talking about earlier, it could have been shot better. I'm not saying that we need, full blown great little sex scenes. I know the movie is 20 some years old, but they could have did. I've seen sex scenes in the 90s and in the early 2000s, and they looked way better than that. I don't know what all that hair grabbing Emery was doing and all. It wasn't sexy at all. That whole scene was just unsexy. The sex scenes were just classless, unsexy. Nothing about it was appealing at all. Nothing. I feel like Emery was just a little too green about that little hoe. Because all he should have did was just knocked her off and kept it pushing. That's what I would have did. I would have knocked her off and kept it pushing. If I was going to cheat on my wife, knocked her off and kept it pushing. I wouldn't have cared nothing about her life. Nothing. Because Emery opened up that door for all of that drama. If Emery would have just kept it in his pants and not knocked her off, or knocked her off and kept it pushing, wouldn't have to worry about nothing. He became too in tune with the dazzle and the stress thing that he wasn't paying attention to. She was playing his ass the whole time anyway, right? Now, Allanah is stupid because I guess she was supposed to play like a dazzle in the stress, but you giving up that cootie cat, I would have gladly accepted anything he gave me because it would have made things more transactional. But she wanted to try to make him fall in love. She wanted to try to get him to leave Constance, and that did not work at all. Another thing, how people be falling in love so fast. I get it was supposed to be a job, but I really think Allanah really did fall in love with Emery because some of that stuff just seemed like it was too. It wasn't because he was a mark. It was because she really started falling in love with this dude. That's what I think it was. 2, how did Emery not realize that it wasn't Reyes asking him for that money, that it was Brandon. All them posted cards. Think about it. How would Reyes know what locker you're using? How would Reyes know to put a postal card on your wife's car? Not your car, but your wife's car. You know what I'm saying? And then two, why would Brandon, like, Reyes never mentioned paying him $250K on none of those postal cards. So when Brandon said it to him, I don't know why that didn't trigger anything in his head at all. Because that I would have instantly thought to myself, like, something about that ain't right. Constance, you're scandalous as hell for divorcing your husband when he went to jail. You know good and goddamn well he did not kill that girl. She know he didn't. She know her husband is not capable of killing somebody. She know him like the back of her hand. She knew he was cheating before the pictures even got there. Because see, look, Emery found out that Constance, this one thing I did miss, Emery found out that Constance knew that he was cheating on her well before that Allanah said anything, because the pictures that she got, once again, were of Emery and Constance in that blue folder, and Emery found it. So he knew that she knew. So I feel like she should have known then. Like, I don't know. It just, to me, it was kind of scandalous to divorce your husband when you could have divorced him beforehand. Before all that kicked off, you could have just divorced him. Because remember, you worked too hard. But now he locked up and you don't need him no more. You divorced him. Then, I feel like Constance should have had more of a clearer mind than Emery did. I don't see how Constance didn't realize or didn't see that Brandon was setting him up. Or was she a part of it? We'll never know until we see part 2. But I don't know how you don't see nothing wrong with going from your husband to his best friend. To me, it looked like you were a part of the setup. And that's exactly probably what Emery feels like. This bitch setting me up right along with him so she could be with this. Like, what the heck? You set me up? It just seems suspect. How everything played out in the end, it seemed suspect. So if Emery felt like Constance was part of it, I wouldn't blame him, because it seems suspect. One minute you go from hating me because you found out this girl, quote unquote, was pregnant. The next thing you come home and she ended up dead, and then I go to jail. It all seemed like a coincidental setup. You know what I'm saying? So I say, he should have paid more attention. He really should have. He really should have. Now, for concluding the film, we like to rate that film. And when rating the film, I had to give it an 8 out of 10. It lost some cool points because the scenes that were supposed to be sexy wasn't really sexy. Emery pissed me off playing stupid, because to me, you was playing blind. And I don't like when people play blind. Stop playing stupid. You've seen the signs. It was right there in your face. It was right there in your face. But it was a great movie. Good storyline. I really don't like the dumb playing ass characters, but I get it. It's supposed to make for suspense for the movie, but I can't stand when a motherfucker plays stupid. When the signs is in your face, the signs in your face. It's hard to miss them. But then again, I guess there are people who in this world do not pay attention to signs. So, whatever. I don't get how. Nothing I don't understand. They kind of made me lose point. They made me lose points. Says, how in the hell can you convict me for a death of a person you can't prove I killed? I don't get how they convicted him for Stroud's death when they had no proof he killed Stroud. There was no proof. Just because you linked me to Alannah's murder you don't have no proof that I killed Stroud. Unless Reyes came forth and said that when he came in there, you know what I'm saying? I just don't get how he got convicted for Stroud's murder. I get how he got convicted for Alannah's because he got framed. He got set up for it. Cool. But I just don't get how they was able to get him for that. I also don't see how nobody paid attention to how, like, the box cutter just ended up on their desk. How does somebody end up getting a murder weapon so easily? Like, didn't nobody think that was suspicious? And then on top of that, you telling me that his fingerprints were still on that box cutter just because Brandon was using these wool-like gloves. You telling me that it didn't rub off the fingerprints? And then on top of that, whose fingerprints was on it before Emery's? It had to be several fingerprints on that box cutter besides Emery's. So it was just, to me, I feel like it was just a simple setup, and the detectives was just so thirsty to lock Emery up, they didn't do a full, thorough investigation, and they failed Emery. They really did. They failed Emery. But also, too, let's dig into these characters real quick. So, Ray, horrible ass attorney. Ray's a horrible attorney because what were you doing that you didn't question how and where did they actually find this murder weapon? Where did it come from? It just mysteriously popped up out of nowhere. 2, if I'm telling you that I feel like I got set up as my attorney, why the hell are you not here when I'm telling you I got set up? Why? And on top of that, didn't nobody put 2 and 2 together? Didn't nobody think that it was possible that Constance and Brandon might have set him up, or maybe Brandon set him up? Nothing? Like, come on now. And then, let's go, what we got, Ray. Allanah, stupid. When she got that check back from Emery, because Emery took the check from her. That's how him and Derek got into it. And that's how they got, both hemmed up for her death, because they both had seen her that day she died. So for me, I feel like with Emery, not Emery, but with Allanah, when she got that check, she should have never went back to that apartment. You got $100K. Why did you go back? I would have took that $100K, dipped off, cashed that thing, and left. I would have left. I would have got up out of there. I wouldn't have been wasting my time worrying about nothing else. I would have got out of there. But she was green, and green got her killed. Now, Derek is a dumbass, because had Derek not gave in to Brandon's little, because you want to control Allanah so bad that you gave in to something that you should have never gave in to. Point blank in the period. Derek was also green. Derek was just as green as Allanah was, which is why Derek almost got arrested for her death. But Derek wasn't the mark. Emery was. Now, let's go up to Brandon. Brandon, you are a dirty son of a bitch. Just because you couldn't get the girl fair and square, you had to go and do some devious shit to get a woman. That is some of the most diabolical shit to do to a person. Because the most you could have did was just got Emery caught up with Allanah, sent an anonymous tip to Constance about Emery messing around with Allanah, and then let it play out that way. You could have sweet talked your way into them drawers or something, but you didn't have enough game to pull Constance yourself that you had to frame this man for murder. For murder. Because your first plan fell through the wall. Your first plan was to make Constance leave him because he was cheated. That didn't work. You seen Constance was a ride or die when it came to that cheating shit. She wasn't just going to walk away because he got a little coochie. So you said she'll walk away if he kills somebody. And you grimy for that. Then, Constance, you know your husband. So for you to believe that he really killed that girl and did not think that somebody set your husband up made me feel like you was in on some bullshit. Like, made me feel like you was only with Emery for money at that point. Because, I mean, I get he cheated on you. I get it. But if you really truly forgave him, you would have looked past the cheating and realized somebody set your husband up and fought for your husband's freedom. Not just turned on him. Because to me, that was grimy. You turned on him for what? What did you turn on him for? Because you was already ready to walk out when he cheated on you. You just needed an excuse to walk away. And on top of that, when you divorce him, did you even get his money? Did you even get his money? Because I start thinking about that. Did you even get his money? But let's talk about the real true villain, Emery. Emery is the real true villain because Emery made a dumb decision to mess with Allanah behind his wife's back, get caught up with this girl so deep that she had the ability to put you in an uncomfortable position. Had Emery never messed with that girl, there would have been nothing else besides Stroud's death that would have held him in a position to go to prison. He should have just left it alone. When he knocked her off the first time, he should have just walked away. Because had he left her alone, it wouldn't have never went that far. But he kept messing with her. He kept messing with her, kept messing with her, kept messing with her. And just wouldn't pay attention. He's the true villain because he was stupid. He was green too. He thought he could do whatever he wanted to and nothing would come back and haunt his ass until it did. So Brandon and Emery are the real villains of this movie. Constance she's a supporting villain. But they all stupid because they all had motives. All of them. They all had a motive. Alannah's motive was to get money. Derek's motive was to get his girl and the money. Brandon's motive was to get the girl and the money. Emery's motive was to have everything he wanted and keep his wife. Constance's motive, it was 50-50. She wanted her husband to do right, but she also wanted her bread too. They all had motives for money. All of them did. If you watch this movie, you can tell every single one of them had motives to make sure they had money. That was a big motive. That was the big motive of all, was money. Money and women. That was the motive. And for that is the end of the podcast for this movie Motive. If you caught what I said earlier, then you know. And I just hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope that y'all like the way I told it versus how I usually do. So with that being said, your host with the most, The Real Taylor Nicole, is going to leave y'all with that. Argue with your mama, your girl is out.